Hi, my name is Kees, and there's this interesting thing that a lot of people want to lose the self or merge into source. Right? We want to, on the spiritual path, we have this feeling of that we want to actually, as the form, become the formless. Become the spiritual, become the transcendent, become the consciousness itself, become this bigger thing. We want to focus on the absolute and not the relative, not the mundane, but we want to rise up, say. Another way to say this is, a lovely teacher once told me, you know the path to heaven, but can you be here on earth? Right, that's a bigger challenge for you. And the grounding and everything that comes with that, I've definitely has been a bigger challenge for me. But it's not right now, so that's great. So then on the other side, you have this formless part of you, your big self, your higher, your oversoul, your higher self, your non-physical self, you could say, that wants to be born into the relative. So sort of the ego says, or at least the spiritual ego is, I want to let go of the ego, right? I want to let go of the relative. I want to let go of my circumstances. But your higher, deeper self actually wants to be born inside the relative, born inside the body. It wants to be where you are right now, in the relative. And the interesting thing is, how do we merge this? Well, we merge this with surrender. When we surrender the ego, when we surrender our desires and ideas of how it should be, then we automatically arrive in a place where we allow our deeper self, or our big self, or our higher self, or our soul to express itself via the body-mind. And of course that's already happening, but there are these distortions that are active. These distortions based on conditioning. And when we let go of wanting to control what the body-mind does, what happens is that there's this free flow from source or from the higher self, and this from your innermost, you could also say, it's flowing to your outermost, and then it can flow freely. It can be born freely, but at the beginning this flow is, you could say, going through your distortions. And through this process of cleansing out this flow, this surrender, this relaxation, this oneness, this higher part of you, your innermost, will actually clean out those distortions of the outermost, which then leads to realizations. It leads to the dropping of the self. It leads to enlightenment. It leads to different locations of foundational well-being, or however you like to call it. It leads to higher states. Because when these distortions go, your innermost can freely flow. And the interesting thing is, the whole thing of spiritual practice, of what you're doing, is based on allowing your innermost, your higher self, etc., to be in the body, to allow yourself to be this higher being, to merge body, mind, and soul, you could also say. And when we try to do everything with our mind, we cut ourselves off from realization and from allowing Source to freely live its life through you, as you. We create this separation between the source where we're coming from and the relative body-mind. And when we're no longer doing that, then we experience unity, then we experience relaxation, then we experience that we're carried, then we experience that we don't need to do anything, but doing is happening automatically. You could say it's automatic success. And success is a definition. I would say success is being the person that you are in the world. Living that higher self into the relative. By allowing. And by not holding on to certain views and opinions, whether it's politics, religion, or anything at all, spirituality, non-duality, whatever. But letting go of these concepts. Come back to two pointers which I really like is, let go of your thoughts and don't suppress your feelings. Just be with it. Let it be. And then you'll notice that your mind starts to get emptier and emptier because you're allowing, and you don't need the mind to be able to think of everything because it's doing itself. Source is thinking, is moving, etc. beautifully by itself without any external control or without you in the outermost trying to control everything, because you can't really, any change really happens from the innermost. And that's how John de Ruiter calls it, like the innermost and the outermost. I really like that. I got that from his book. I think his first book. There's a piece that I've read like 1,000 times. I don't remember the name of the book, but this is like, then you'll notice that there is this part that when you get emptier and emptier because you let go of the needing to control the body-mind, that space is filled with relaxation and the distortions start to let go of itself. And what you also notice, or start to notice, is that while you, as the outermost, you could say, wanted to merge into the innermost really wants to go to the outermost and wants to really make the relative the most spiritual and beautiful thing ever. Because it is. Like the most ordinary stuff is the most extraordinary, actually. Your blood pumping, your body working, food on your table, roof over your head. Maybe you have a partner or children. That's the most important thing, right? Your parents, if they're alive. Your cousins, your brothers or sisters, your friends. By this allowance, everything just naturally happens. By this surrender to what wants to happen. And of course, techniques, books, videos, everything has its place. But if you just allow and trust the universe, marvelous things will start to happen. So allow your deeper part to take over your life and by living your true life for what you're here for, what you're meant to be here for. And allow the absolute in the relative. And then, my friends, I'll tell you, the relative will become really special again. Very special. Much love to you. Good luck on your journey. And let me know if I can help. Bye.